Do you have certain categories of items in your home you need to declutter, but there's just something that's holding you back? I have some items that are very sentimental and I've been having a hard time even thinking about it, but today I'm going to do them. If you're new to the channel, you would know that this channel is a journey of me doing it. You're watching the journey. I'm teaching you what I'm learning as I go along. I'm trying to share with you this part's tough. Oh, this is so good. Look, I've succeeded here. You might try this. Maybe it'll work for you. Before we get going with this, I need to tell you I'm going to be using a chair as a step stool, but it actually is going to be safer for me to use a chair today because see that? A couple weeks ago, I kind of stepped off the back stairs wrong and have a big long stress fracture in my heel. And I can totally see myself falling off of a step stool. But I have these chairs and I think they're gonna work all right for it. So I just wanted to give you a heads up about that so you don't worry. I'm gonna take these down and put them on the island so I can really see what I have, because when I've decluttered just within the cabinet, I know I haven't been pulling out enough. So I need to take them out. I'll tell you what I'm thinking as I do it. Okay. We'll keep these because I make sourdough bread all the time. And these are the banions that I use when I put them in the refrigerator. I forget I have this. Tell you what I bought this for. When I'm cooking, I need this, but the problem I have is when I'm not cooking, then I forget about it because then I always worry about getting them dirty. These just fit back here and they'll take a really big cookbook. It's the Ultimate Cookie Collection by Taste of Home. I got it at a thrift store. I'm going to try that. We're going to come to the hard stuff. You would think, why is this so hard? Because I have so many memories. Let's just do this pile first. This is my original bundt pan I got in 1976. We got married. There will be people who would love to have that because it's vintage. I keep hanging on to it because it was such a big popular thing. But I was thinking this morning, why am I not using it? And it's because every time I think about making a cake, I'm thinking about making a round cake or a rectangle cake. I'm not ever thinking about making a bundt cake. So I'm going to take a big breath and I'm going to donate that. Now, I don't know if you know what this is. So this is a cake pan that you use to make angel food cake. So it's got these little tabs. So you can put it on the counter when it's cooling. It needs to have air to breathe, or my grandmother taught me you get a pop, like a liter pop or a pop bottle, then you have more airflow. So you use it specifically with angel food cakes and sponge cakes to have strawberry shortcake. And because I haven't made an angel food cake in a long time, he keeps buying the ones at the store. I hate them so bad. They're just so sugary and airy and sugary. And so it occurred to me this morning, why don't you just make an angel food cake? You would really make him pleased. And it was a fun thing to do. And my grandmother taught me to do it and I know how, and they're really good. So I'm going to keep this. Okay, these are springform pans for making cheesecakes. I bought these with the fullest intent to make some cheesecakes. I've had them decades and I've never made a cheesecake. I don't think I ever will. I don't like it well enough to make one. If I want some cheesecake, I'll buy it. I bought this from King Arthur's scone pans. I've only made them twice, but I love them. Oh, orange cranberry was my last one. They were so good. I just need to start thinking about it because whenever I've made them, the families really loved them. So I'm not getting rid of this. I have so many pie pans, you might be thinking, what is going on with you? I used to make the pies for all the extended family, Thanksgiving and Christmas celebrations. And at one point, there were so many of us that I made 24 pies. I think my high was 32 pies. So, of course, I had to have a lot of pie pans. I don't even begin to have as many as I used to. But I'm thinking I need to cut down. And I know these are really popular. I haven't really been happy with them because I couldn't manage the top crust well enough. You see them in YouTube videos a lot when people are making pies. Would rather form top edge myself. Need to keep a little one because sometimes I'll make a big one and I have some pie dough left. This is my favorite size. I need those. Thinking about what I make for Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm going to keep those. I used to have some cake pans. They were about this side and then they had a little tab that when you had the cake, you go like that and it would help release it. And I donated those, and boy, have I regretted that. And, well, I use all of these. What I want to do is find those cake pans like I used to have. They are the very best. I could get down to these and donate these. They're all the same size pan. No, they're not. These are a little bit bigger. I don't make layer cakes very much just because they're such a bother. I'm going to keep all of these, and I'm going to make 2 cakes, 2 layer cakes, and use this set for one and this set other one, and find out which set I prefer. This is the size I use for making sweetbreads like banana bread. These are really good for gifts, but I don't ever use them. I think if I was going to give a gift, I don't bake a lot of bread and give it around to people, but if I was going to give one to somebody, I would just use my recipe that uses this. And then I bought this one at the thrift store. This smoky look with these yellow flowers was the style in the 70s when we got married. So when I saw it, I went, oh, that just reminds me of that time period. So I think I'm going to keep this. And even though I have more memories of so many meals made this, I'm going to keep that one. And these are the pans that I make bread in. Sandwich bread. So I'm going to keep those. And then I'm down to this stack. This stack's a lot better. I think I'll find some good things to donate. I didn't used to have so many pans, and I didn't personally require all of them. I've got to get down because it's hard for me to put the pans away. But this is an area I could see my husband pushing back that I've done certain things. Find a square pan that we used to use in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and I don't need 2 of them. Boy, this has got a lot of use. A lot of carrot cake and fruit cocktail cake made in that one. This one's in better shape. I always like to have a square 8x8 Pyrex pan. I bought this one recently because you might go, you don't need 3 square pans, but I use them for different types of things. So I'm going to keep this one. They're all fitting in there really well. This is my old cake pan. It's 13 1/8 by 9.5. Here's something that I recently learned. This is the kind of pan we always made cakes in, and I made cakes in it for years. And then I started making it in the Pyrex pans because it's, it's kind of fun to see around the side and everything. They just didn't seem to do as well as in this pan, but this pan is old and ugly. I read recently that it's actually better to be baking your bakes in a metal pan. So you see a lot of cakes have been made in that, so I'm going to keep this. These pans is that we use them, sweet potatoes and jello, and it would not go over well. Decluttered these pans. No. This one's a newer one. Somebody's given me this. I have some pans I like better. You can bake a cake in it. I think I'm going to donate this one. I have just enough pans for the slots. That is absolutely disgusting up there. But I learned that those dividers came out, and I really honestly didn't know that. So after my foot gets well, then I can clean that out. I have to remind myself, keep focused, you're decluttering, you're not cleaning. That is important for you to know when you're decluttering. You're not organizing, you're not cleaning, you are decluttering. Because, you'll run into something like that and you'll be like, oh, that's so awful. It's so awful in there, but I'm going to have to get a big ladder, not even my step stool, or I'm going to have to ask my husband to help me. Something's got to happen because just myself on a stool, but I'll figure that out after my foot gets better, not today. So let's look at these pans. I got this with a little mix last year. I made a little tree with rolls. It was cute. I'm going to let that go. This was my grandmother's. I use this at holidays. Keeping that. This is my grandmother's platter. I use this at holidays. This is a platter I bought at Home Goods. I'm going to keep that. Those are my 3 nice platters. I have no idea where I got this. I don't ever think about it, so I'm going to get rid of that. I have all my different size cooling racks. I didn't realize I Had two that size. And these are grease splatter. I never actually see anybody use these. I think Andrew bought these. I use this constantly. I use this constantly. I got this Hobby Lobby or something. So it's one of those plate chargers. Forgot I had it. I have other chargers that I actually use. And this has got rust on it. I'm gonna throw this one away. If you've used it long enough, there's rust on it. My family will make things and then they forget to clean them. I get really aggravated. Maybe I shouldn't confess stuff like that too, but when I get my pans out, my baking pans, and if somebody's put them away where they are sticky and dirty, I get really unhappy about it. I don't ever put a pan away unless it's clean. So I'm gonna have to clean those, but I'm definitely keeping them. I use all of these. I'm gonna have to clean them all. Now, I don't know. I think this one came with our stove, our old stove. So I don't want those. I use these. They need to be cleaned too. These are jelly rolls. Certain kinds of things in these. No, you can't make those things in the larger pans. Different recipes and different items require different kinds of tools. It comes with a broiler pan, but where's the bottom of the broiler pan? I have no idea. Here's my donation pile. This is my grandmother's, keeping that. This was something. This is my grandmother's pickle dish. Somebody would really like that because it's vintage. It is vintage. This is from the 60s or 70s. I bought this. Isn't that pretty? I got this and this. This is something I got at the thrift store. I used to use for decorating. This was my mother's when she was like a 5-year-old, so I'm keeping that. Okay, I used to use this all the time. This is one of those kinds of things that you put like olives on one side and pickles on one side, and it's really good when you are giving parties and things. The problem I have is that I very, very rarely have company. I think that was my mother's little platter. I gave it to her, but I won't use this. This is my grandma's. When I have candy out, I use this. Okay, this would be nice at Christmas to put there for the keys. Good idea. I love to use this my fall decorations on my shelves, and this is my grandmother's plate. My trivet. I keep looking for it. Okay, I use this a lot when I'm decorating those shelves. I might use it with the 4th of July. Keeping that. This I bought. It was such a good idea, I thought. It's cute, but I've never been able to get it to work, so I'm going to donate that. Had a really neat viewer give me this. It's perfect on my shelves for decor. I'm always looking for just the right thing for those shelves. I thought it was a good idea, but I've never been able to use it successfully. This was one of my grandmother's. I use this for decorating. I should have been using that right now. I thought they were a good idea. They were really fashionable. A lot of people were buying them at that time, but I've never been successful. It's like a rose, but I've never been able to use it well. It's really hard for me if I have just 2 of something. So I used this for a while when I was decorating for spring, but I don't like, it just doesn't fit in with what I do, my style. These were all the rage a couple of years ago, and I've never been able to use them really well. It just looks dorky. However, I use them. I think I'm going to try this one more season. Thrift store, and I didn't ever do the idea. This when we went to Nauvoo, and my husband brought this home for me from his mission. He brought this home for me from his mission, which was a big deal, so I better keep that. I think of a world in which I'd use that on my shelves in there, and I can't think of one. That was a lot. I'm really proud of myself. Feel really good about it, and it feels really good to look at all those cabinets and see there is some room. Now, YouTube, who knows you much better than I do, feels that you are going to like this video. Bye.